What is up, coders and my other viewers out there?
That intro is getting a bit cringy, seeing as I haven't done a coding video in...
I thought I couldn't get embarrassed. Like, almost nothing embarrasses me. But then, this happened. We, the Chindletons, went to the Teach Them Diligently conference in Alabama. We had a lot of fun. I was gonna show like video footage and stuff. I accidentally deleted all the videos, so I will not be showing footage. I got to see Ray Comfort speak. I got to meet and shake Eric Hoven's hand. It was great, but at some point we decided to go out and hand out little Chindleton advertisements. This is where it gets good. Okay, not yet, but it's leading up to the good part. So we were attempting to hand out these little Chindleton advertisement business card sort of things that at home I quickly printed and cut into terrible looking shapes and sizes. Let me tell you, it wasn't as easy as we thought. It was me along with Jeremiah, Rebecca, Joshua, and Elizabeth. We barely handed out any, except for Joshua, who was actually handing out millions, because obviously shyness is the opposite of him. Actually, Jeremiah didn't hand out even one, which to this day I still hold him responsible for. So eventually Rebecca states that maybe it would be easier for her to pass out the cards if she knew who would actually be interested in the channel. So she said if we pointed someone out for her, then she would pass it out. I thought that sounded like it made sense, so I agreed to do the same. Ish. You see, they started pointing out people at random, specifically ones that we knew were not going to like our channel, such as elderly people and, no offense, just, you know, older people looking. Oh, that's cringy. Never mind, you know what I mean. So anyways, that didn't really work, but it got worse, and this is where everything starts. So Rebecca made the huge mistake by jokingly pointing out someone who we knew would probably not enjoy our channel. She says, "You should give one to that lady over there." As soon as I looked behind me, for some odd reason, the lady was staring straight into my eyes and into my soul. It was pretty awkward. I quickly tried to glance away and pretend I was looking at something else. But when I looked back at the others, I kind of made a "that was awkward" face, which made us start laughing. I thought maybe it was a "okay, moving on" moment. But as we started walking away, I looked behind me and she was still staring at us. So we started walking away like, oh, let's get out of here. And started worrying if maybe she thought we were making fun of her. Because by the way, she wasn't just a random person like everyone else. She happened to be Mennonite. No, don't take this the wrong way. I have good friends who are Mennonite. Mennonites are great. The only problem is she had a head covering, and the head covering made her different, which isn't bad. But it couldn't have just been some random lady like everyone else in the conference. No! It had to be someone different from everyone else, which made it look like we were making fun of her. We walked around one of the corners of the booth that was halfway across the room from where she was standing, and I looked in her direction. She was still looking at us. Now it was getting less concerning and slightly more terrifying. No, I'm kidding. But despite that being a little unsettling, we still felt so bad. So like 10 or 20 minutes later, we had split up. I was walking back to where everyone else was. And you know when two people have the same walkway, but in different directions, which makes them try to go around each other, but every time they go around each other, they go the same way, and it's kind of like that. Well, guess who I had that type of encounter with? Yup, it was her. But it wasn't just that. She gave me this double take like, "Hey, I know you!" My face was probably red as something, I don't know, while walking back to the others. I could hardly tell the others what had happened because I was laughing so hard from the irony and embarrassment I just went through. I finally told them, and we were all dying from drowning in the tears. Our laughter. Hannah saw us dying and came over to see what was so funny so she could die along with us. So we had to tell her the story from the start, which made all of us die even more. So we finished dying, and we were still wondering if she thought maybe we were some dumb teenagers that were just laughing about whatever, or she was actually hurt and we should go apologize to her. Hannah suggested going over there and buying something from her to make up for it. I thought maybe that'd be a good idea, and then we could tell her the whole story. Yeah, no. Imagine this was all a coincidence, and we're like, hey, sorry for laughing at you. And she'd be like, you were laughing at me? That'd be even worse. So time flies and it's time to go get pizza. We were waiting for the Charleston's parents to figure out where we were gonna eat. And all of a sudden I see the lady. And I decided to dodge behind some things so maybe she wouldn't see me. Bad move. I think she saw us. And soon we found ourselves talking again about the situation and what we should do about it. I know, weird. But it felt like the right thing to do at the time. But as we were talking, a guy came and walked by. We found out that was the lady's husband. And they owned a book booth, which was right next to where we were talking. They went over there and they were kind of talking and actually glanced at us while doing so. Then the husband walks over to us. We all, specifically Rebecca and I, hold our breaths as he walks over, while trying not to make eye contact. And he comes over and says, hey, we were trying to give these damaged books away. Here, you want one? Or something like that, and then handed over a book. Yeah, that's what he wanted us to think. But no, he was trying to repay what he thought was evil with goodness by giving us a free book. Heap burning coals of fire on our heads. We soon left to get pizza. Walking down the street, Jeremiah was sitting there telling us that we should probably just forget about it and move on in life, while Hannah was sitting there saying we should go and apologize. I kind of wanted to agree with Jeremiah, so I dropped it. But that didn't work. I am not exaggerating when I say that almost every conversation that we brought up at the table in the restaurant led to the whole situation, even though we were trying to forget about it. So time flies again, and we go and watch the 3D animated film Pilgrim's Progress, which was both cringy and awesome, by the way. We went to the hotel lobby and slowly started forgetting about the whole thing. Well, at least we weren't talking about it anymore, but I'm pretty sure I knew what we were all thinking about. That night, it actually kept me up a bit. No joke. Next morning, guess what the first thing we talked about at breakfast was? Battery's about to die on the camera. So Rebecca still thought maybe it was a good idea to go do something about it. So we went to the booth and Rebecca went over there and just smiled at her. She smiled back, so she felt better. I attempted to do so. I walked through there and she didn't look at me, so I didn't have the ability to smile at her. It could have been because I was walking at the pace of a bongo with a hungry lion on its tail. I was still kind of scared of her. I also think the Charlestons actually ended up buying something from the booth, or something like that. Later, I saw her again and, she smiled at me. I returned the smile. She didn't give me a weird look, so I guess all is well. Anyways, that was a very different experience for me. But it was probably the highlight of the whole trip to Alabama. So I'm pretty sure that lady isn't watching this video right now. I was a little hesitant on posting it. But if you happen to be that lady, now you know the truth. We weren't laughing at your different clothing or religion. We were just being weird. Thanks for dropping by.